Appreciate our fans. Big time shout out to volleyball. Really excited to see them advance to the Sweet 16, and so just want to give them a shout out. I thought the ability to go deep into our bench again today was really important, and I know sometimes it's hard as players, but I think the wear and tear that goes on throughout the course of the season, it's so important right now to be able to use your depth when you can. And I thought Delilah had some really good minutes for us, so that was great to see for her. I thought for the most part, defensively, we saw a lot of really good things. We got to get a little bit quicker out of our rotations, but for the most part, I thought we did a really nice job from that standpoint. Good to see Angie, kind of rack up some of those boards. I think she's got the ability to be an elite level rebounder for us, and so it was good to see her kind of get into a rhythm a little bit there too.
Robin, you mentioned obviously on the defensive end, it felt like a lot of energy, on the defensive end off the jump of this game. What did you like energy-wise from this defense?
Yeah, I think a lot of times you don't get a lot of credit for, I think the continued tenacity on the ball. Like I think of Laniah, and she came up with 2 steals for us, but she's a young lady that's just relentless in her pursuit, and just the wear and tear that she puts on other teams, ability to bring the ball up the court. I think all of our perimeter players have the ability to do that, and at the end of the day, we want to be able to hang our hat on that, and I think we've grown a lot in that area, but maybe not at the level that I think there's still room for more growth. And I thought we were a little bit slow to a couple 50-50 balls, and it's hard as a player. You think, golly, we're up 25, up 30, coach, but we want to play at a certain level, a certain standard, and so I think there was some missed opportunities out there, but some really, really good stretches as well.
Coach, your team started scoring more in the second quarter. What stood out to you in that quarter?
Yeah, I just think, we've got a lot of players that have the ability to create shots for themselves, but also just the unselfish play, and really trying to be mindful of the small gaps, and, maybe pass up on a good shot for a great shot, and that ball movement can be so key. I think our defense created some offense for us, which is always nice to be able to get out and play in the full court. You transition, something we continue to hone in on for our team. I think we've got the ability to play fast, which is, I think, always a good look for us. But really, just our ball movement. We ended up with 16 assists tonight. Again, I think that's a pretty solid number for us.
Coach, Angie seemed really aggressive tonight, both offensively, like hunting her own shot, and as well on the glass, but she had 0 fouls. So what did you like that you saw from her?
Yeah, I told her I'd buy her a pack of gum if she's played more than 10 to 11 minutes without getting into foul trouble. But really, to be honest with you, I know it's been so frustrating for her. She's a strong young lady. She's explosive. She's powerful, and just trying to understand, how to post without using too much of her upper body, and still being aggressive and physical and using her athleticism. So it's been a little bit frustrating at times for her. But at the same time, we know it's there. She did sit out for a year, and so even though she's had a number of practices under her belt, it's still different when the lights are on. And so, we knew it was just going to be a matter of time for her. And I think, she's such a huge part of what we do, and has the ability to score at a high clip around the rim. But also her rebounding, to me, is something that should just be a staple night in and night out. And it was great to see her have such a good game.
Ashton, this is your 4th consecutive game in double-digit scoring. Feels like you've really turned a corner starting at Wichita State. Have you been able to feel that? Has the last couple games felt any different for you?
No, I think just trying to let the game come to me, not trying to force anything. Just going off of what Coach P said, I felt like we just really got after it this game, and we let our defense kind of motivate and push our offense, getting out in transition, converting the steals that we had. So I also think just the biggest thing in this game was just, not throwing in the towel at halftime. Got to give credit to NIU, and just, I think they played a good game, and just going into halftime, trying to make sure that we came out with a good defensive pressure, making sure that we didn't just throw the towel in and throw the game away. So,
Ashton, you talked about defense and kind of getting after it. What moments stood out to you from today's game?
I think the biggest moment that stood out to me was Naya. Coach P touched on it, but just the ability that she has to apply pressure in the full court, 94 feet from the basket. You know, she's got a motor and she does so much for our team. And then I think she had an offensive charge that she drew in the full court, which charges are hard in the half court. So for her to be able to do that and just bring the energy for our team, I think she was the biggest player that stood out to me.
Laniah, how did it feel to be back into the starting lineup and especially contribute as much as you did to the team today?
I mean, it felt good. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it felt good to start off the game, you know, come out from the jump and just have the energy to bring to the team. I don't know.
Coach, three-point shooting clearly an emphasis today. Finished 14 of 28. Do you feel that three-pointing is definitely a strength for this team, and how is this going to affect this team heading into SEC play?
I mean, it's, you know, we want to play inside out. You know, I'm more concerned about the times that we miss our post players than how many threes that we make. I think we've got a lot of very skilled perimeter players that have the ability to score off the bounce. So when we talk about playing inside out, it's, you know, not only with a post feed, but off the bounce and attacking the rim. And we feel like if we do that, the three ball will open up for us, and we've got capable, you know, players that are capable of knocking down shots for us. But the emphasis isn't necessarily hunting the three; it's really hunting great shots for our team, and that can come in a bunch of different, you know, ways. And so, want to get to the free throw line, want to attack inside out, and be able to get rhythm threes. And again, a lot of young ladies that put in a lot of time outside of what's required, really up and down our roster, and so they worked hard to, you know, shoot it at a high clip, and I think we've got a number of players on any given night that can knock down those shots for us.
Jamila Brown had 3 threes today. What's it like to have someone with that much experience coming off so deep off your bench?
Yeah, it's so big. You know, she hasn't played for a couple years, and so, you know, just getting out there again, just kind of getting into her flow a little bit. You know, we got a deep roster. You know, and to get everybody minutes is really challenging. And so sometimes it's not maybe about what you're doing, but what somebody else is doing. And so anytime we can continue to get her out there, I think it's really important. She's got the ability to score. She is a scorer. She can knock down the three, but she can also go off the bounce. And like you said, she's got a lot of experience under her belt. So I was really proud of her tonight. I thought she, you know, was ready when her number was called, had some really, really good minutes. And in my opinion as a coach, that's how you, you know, get extended minutes that next opportunity.
Coach, your team, this is a 4th straight game with a win. What has stood out to you over these past 4 games?
You know, really it's just staying present. You know, we don't really look back at we just want to learn and grow, win or lose. We want to trust the process. You know, we know that, you know, from every game, win or lose, there's things that we've done well and things that we got to get better at. But I just think the team is getting more comfortable. I think Naya talked about that in our last press conference, just the we over me mentality. And it's hard, right? Everybody puts in time. Everybody works. Everybody's been relentless in their pursuit and trying to get in the gym and work on their craft. And so it's a hard thing to do. But I do think as our team continues to grow and has more experience together, we continue to understand what that looks like and what it needs to look like. And, you know, you understand that that's how we're going to be able to be our very best as we go through a grueling SEC conference. So I just think it's them being more familiar with each other and getting more reps together.
Coach, the last few games, it's felt like you guys have played with a really high pace and intensity. How much of an emphasis is it to kind of make sure that other teams are playing on Mizzou's terms and at your pace?
Something we talk about a lot. I mean, we just really want to be disruptive on the defensive end, which is so cool to say because, you know, defense travels and how you show up. And, you know, and that's why we talked about it at halftime. There was just some 50-50 balls that I thought we could have been a little bit more aggressive to. We don't want to play the scoreboard, win or lose. You don't play the scoreboard. You just play to the level that you're capable of playing. And so just that grittiness, that toughness, it's something that we talk a lot about, and I know that's how they practice. Sometimes I think they practice harder than what they play, and so, which is a good thing as a coach because practices are so competitive, but want to make sure that when the lights go on that, you know, they bring that same kind of energy, and I think for the most part, other than a couple hiccups this year, we've done a pretty good job with that.
For Laniah and Ashton, so far you guys have played 12 games. It's the most in Division I. What's this kind of stretch been like physically playing game after games to start the season?
You want to start? You want to?
I mean, all I can say is nothing. I mean, it's been a lot on our bodies and stuff like that, but I mean, we got good trainers and stuff that get us right. So, I mean, yeah, we just got to keep pushing, though. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I'd agree. I also think that, our strength and conditioning coach, Tyler, has done a great job in the preseason of just not only trying to prepare our bodies, but making sure that we're, like, getting right in the weight room. He takes days off, like, letting us stretch, letting us roll out, like, making sure that our bodies are where they need to be so that we can perform at the highest level. And, the coaches take care of us, too, like, practices, like, they're making sure that our bodies are right and accommodating to the amount of games that we're playing, so.
Can somebody record that?
Not too much.
And then for you, Coach, now you've got a week off. What's going to be the biggest point of emphasis with this kind of extended break that you guys have without games?
Yeah, I think it's really important we just kind of recenter. There's these girls have worked so hard. There's a lot of emotion that goes into every day, every practice, everything we do, film session, whatnot. We need to make sure we carve out space for them to take care of their academics first and foremost, and then after that, just breaking down some film and tweaking some things on the offensive end. How do we get better? How do we get better reads? There's some things from our out of bounds plays that I think we can execute better. Our rotations after we're creating some havoc in the full court and rotations out of there. So just constant opportunities to tweak things and improve things and build on things. So first things first, though, it'll be a good couple day break for them, and then looking forward to getting back after it on Wednesday.
We'll take one or two more if you guys have them.
Coach, it was brought up about Judd's performance the past 4 games. What has stood out to you in those 4 games?
Yeah, she's worked really hard, like all of them have. And I think a lot of times when you work that hard and you put in that much time outside of what's required, there's a certain amount of, you have expectations of yourself. You put a little extra pressure on yourself more than what you realize at times because you want it so bad. And at some point, you just got to take a deep breath and exhale and just keep it really simple. And sometimes less is more. And that's hard to do as athletes that are so driven. It's really hard to do. And it takes great self-awareness. And so to be able to just take that deep breath and exhale and understand it's a marathon, not a sprint. I think it takes great maturity, and I think she's handled it in a really, really positive way.
Ashton, kind of flipping that last question, actually, what are you most proud of in terms of your play today?
I would say just my mental space. It was kind of a hard start to the year. I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I have high expectations, as I'm sure everybody on our team does. So I think just being able to, like Coach P said, take a deep breath and just let the game come to me, be where I need to be on the court. I just feel like my mental space, trying to stay in a good spot and just not get too high and not to get too low.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We could.